everybody? It's another cold winter morning at Camp Crystal Gaines. So last I talked to you guys, I was talking about taking time off. That was filmed actually a few days before I posted it. I've gotten back into the gym since then. What I'm doing is kind of taking it easy with my back and legs for just this week, because I took that time off, but I don't want to go, like, just because I'm feeling better, I don't want to get in there and aggravate it again and then go through all this again, which I think I said that before. But so far I went in, I hit chest the other day, then I hit shoulders, and today I think I'm going to go in and do back, but I want to bring my arms back up a little bit, because I was looking at old pictures and they're definitely not where they used to be. So I think I need to start bringing some just arm volume back in a little bit more. So we're going to do that. One thing, I keep looking at old stuff because I just like seeing how my videos are progressing, and there's a couple things that I really kind of want to redo, like refilm a couple things I said. And so I think just sporadically I'm going to throw those in. But at one point I was talking about like falling in love with the gym. And, because I get asked constantly by friends, by people online, whatever, how do you stay motivated to work out? They say I always start and then I lose motivation, and then I quit. And that's the thing, is you don't rely on motivation, because it's not, you get a lot of that in the beginning because it's all new and exciting, and you think like, I'm gonna completely change my body overnight. And then when it doesn't happen overnight, a lot of people get kind of discouraged. They lose that motivation. What you need to do is build consistency. So even days that you don't want to go, you need to make yourself go, and that will make it a habit. And eventually it'll get to a point where, once you start seeing results, and you will, it's not going to happen overnight. But once you start seeing results and realizing, holy shit, like, I'm changing my body, I'm in control of this, you're going to want more of that. But if you're going to sit there and wait for this magical motivation feeling to hit you in order for you to go, you're not going to get there. You have to go when you don't want to. Now, if you're like deathly sick or something, okay, stay home. But, if you're even able to have a halfway decent lift, you need to go. And I'm telling you, one of the reasons I fell so in love with it was realizing that I was in control, that I had the power to change this thing that I wasn't happy with. And that carried over to the rest of my life. Like, I realized if you are not content with the way things are going, there's only one person you can blame for that, and it's you. You're the only person that has the power to change your circumstance. And there's really is nothing in this world worth having that comes without hard work, consistency, and dedication. But if you can lock in that consistency, you'll reach your goals. I think consistency is like, because you can watch all the training form videos and techniques and all this scientific, this is the optimal way for the most gains, exercises, whatever. None of that means anything if you don't get down there and do it. So you can have all this shit in your head, but if you're not implementing it, there's no point. I don't know, I kind of went into that in another video, and I thought I might kind of retouch on it for new people. But yeah, don't rely on motivation. That's not the way. Because you're not going to be motivated all the time. Most of the time I wake up, now, you know, it depends. I'll get hit with it every now and then. I kind of am right now. But there's a lot of days where I'll psych myself out. And I'm like, fuck, man, I don't really know if I have it in me today. But I still go down there. And I usually end up having some of my better lifts on those days. And I'll tell you, you're going to feel really a lot better about yourself if you go and you do it than if you had just stayed home. I don't know. I personally, lifting makes me feel accomplished, and it kind of puts my mind at ease. Like, okay, I did the hard thing. Now let's do the other hard things. But once that's out of the way, I know I did what I was supposed to do that morning. But I mean, it's up to you guys. You got to figure out how much you want to put into this. But the more you put in, the more you get out. That does not equate to let's do a bunch of junk volume, though. That's not what I'm saying. But the more effort you put into this, the more you'll get out of it. I, as I've said before, am neurodivergent, and lifting kind of became another obsession of mine, just like horror movies or metal. When I'm not lifting, I'm watching stuff about lifting. I'm thinking about how I'm going to reach my goals, what I'm going to implement into my program, how I'm going to change my diet. It's almost all consuming. That's what I do for fun, is learn new stuff about lifting. And I don't believe there's a right or wrong way to do anything. Like in this, well, there's right ways. That's not, there's very tried and true commonalities between different styles of training and stuff like that. But there's no specific, like, hey, that's wrong. I heard this guy say that. Well, this guy says this. Okay, we'll try them both out and figure out what works for you. And that's what you run with. And things may work for you at different times and not work for you at other times. It just kind of depends on where you're at, how your body is, what feels comfortable to you, what doesn't feel comfortable. You might have some kind of injury you don't, or impingement or something you don't know about until you tweak it. But you just got to find what works for you, man. And I think if you're new to this, I think once you start seeing those changes, you're gonna fall in love with it. It really is. Like I said, it changed my whole life. It changed my whole mindset. I'm a lot calmer of a person knowing that I'm in control of my circumstance. I'm in control of how I react to situations. I'm in control of what goals I do and do not reach. I don't know, man. I'm just kind of running my lips here, but yep. But today, I think I'm gonna go try to do some back stuff and some arm volume. But I'm just gonna kind of do some. I think I'll try out some lat pull downs. But I'm not going to push it real hard because I just don't want to set that off again with my back. But that's just for this week. Next week, everything's, as far as back and legs, is going to be ramped right back up to where it was. But yeah, we're going to see how today's lift goes. Listen, I hope all you guys had a good lift or a good rest day, whichever one it was. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Boy. a guy that goes to my gym, right? And he's a big dude. And he just found my stuff, my content recently. And left a comment saying like, "Hey man, I just found your shit. I dig it. You're a monster," or something like that, right? And it just made me feel good because this is he is a big guy, and he said he's not happy with his physique, but he should be, because and don't take offense to this if you're watching. I didn't think you were natural when I saw you. If that tells you where your physique is at, he's natural, and I didn't think he was. So if that helps you see that you do have an impressive physique, cool. I hope so, because you don't look like a natty. And I think that's a good thing. I'd be pissed if somebody was like, "You look natural." That's not my goal. I don't want to look natural. I want to look freakish. But yeah, it was kind of cool to have somebody, because when I first got in that gym, I saw a dude and I was like, "Fuck, man, I want to get that size," So I like kind of looked up to you in a way, like, "Holy shit, dude, I need to get bigger," right? So, but anyways, my point with all that is, where was I going with that? Fuck. Oh, that's what it was. Yesterday's video. Well, I don't know when this will be uploaded. The video about gym etiquette. I was kind of a fucking prick in that video. And I think I was just in a shitty mood. And again, I want to reiterate, none of the people that I'm friendly with in there are who I'm talking about, okay? So please, if any of you guys saw that, do not think it's about you, because it's not. It's really about like 2 or 3 newer people, and they just kind of do a couple things that get on my nerves a little bit. And then the other thing from that video I wanted to kind of add to was, I was talking about don't take up both cables if you're just doing tricep stuff when there's a free single cable on the other side, right? Well, that goes both ways. I won't go take up both cables for chest flies if the gym is packed and there's a bunch of people waiting on the cables. That's also a dick move. So I understand that goes both ways. I just wanted to add that in. Yeah, any of me talking about don't fucking talk to me and all that stuff, that's just, I think I was in a bad mood. I mean, I do feel that way because I am limited on time, but none of the people that I'm friendly with at all are who I'm talking about. So I just wanted to clarify that. And then there was a video a few videos back where I was talking about the guy that asked me if I was Camp Crystal Gaines. It's not about you either, because you just started going to that gym. And when I said new people, I didn't want you to think that was about you. You're fucking awesome. All you guys are awesome. So I just wanted to clear that up real quick. I didn't want any confusion. Oh, a little pro tip. If you guys drink like these kind of protein shakes that come in a carton, you think it's empty. You hold it upside down, there ain't nothing coming out. You squeeze it, there's nothing coming out. You need to cut these in half, because there's like a good this much in the bottom, and this shit's too expensive. Protein is way too fucking expensive to be just wasting it. And I'd say you get like a whole, either half a shake or a whole shake. If you just cut that open, that's how much you're losing if you don't do that. That's just a little pro tip. Like I'm a pro. I don't know what I'm fucking doing. There's another little tip I was thinking about the other night. I know most lifters or bodybuilders want to eat lean meats, but let's say you're stuck eating regular ground beef, like 80-20. What you can do is sweat the meat. So you put it in the pan and you cook it on pretty low heat, and you'll start getting a lot of liquid into the pan. And you strain that, you keep doing that, and you remove an ass load of fat out of that beef. That's something I had to do and had to learn how to do, because if you remember, I was talking about I used to have really bad gallbladder attacks, and a lot of times those are triggered by fat, and that's part of why I think I got so lean. I was barely eating any fat, but yeah, I had to learn that because of that, and I was able to eat an ass load of ground beef by kind of sweating the fat out, and didn't have an attack when I was having attacks at that time if I ate too much fat at once. So that's just a little tip. I get these like little snippets of stuff that I'd like to say in videos sometimes when I'm just kind of driving around. What else was I going to tell you guys? This was it. Here we go. 1 second. So I talked about I get very bloated, right? And that's probably like either digestive issues or, sometimes estrogen. Like if your estrogen gets high, your E2, you can get bloated and retain water. So I was really wanting to start looking into ways to reduce the bloat. And then I found, and this is not sponsored, this is not an advertisement, obviously, but I found these. They're called Beat the Bloat. The label kind of slipped over, but they're the Ollie, and they're just these little herbal capsules. And I was getting really, really fucking bloated. And I took one of these one day at like 5 p.m. and I woke up the next day and my bloat was completely fucking gone. And I've taken them every day since, and I haven't had any bloat. Then one day I forgot them, and holy shit, I looked like I was fucking pregnant. So if you're having bloat issues, you guys should try these. I mean, it's just it's just got like digestive support in it, and some kind of herbs. I don't know, you'd have to look. I'm too shaky right now to read this from all the too many stimulants in my system. Yeah, this is great, at least for me. They're a little expensive. I can't remember exactly. I think they're like 10 or 12 bucks or something, but they work. They work for me anyways. So if you guys are having trouble with bloat, give them a shot. Oh, that's why I brought Dude up from my gym. The other reason I brought him up, one of the things he said was, I didn't realize that you used to be fat. And he said that makes your transformation just that much more. What is going on with my mask? Hang on 1 second. All right, that's a little better. That mask is adjustable, and it's adjusted for when I'm wearing my hat usually. So it was really loose and my mask kept slipping. But anyways, he said, I didn't know you used to be fat. And he said that makes your transformation just that much more impressive. And he said he used to be fat too. I wanted to bring this up because I've talked about it before, but I've gotten kind of a surge of subs recently. And so for the new people, I used to be just under 300 pounds. And one day my wife said, I'd like to lose some weight. My weight has yo-yoed all my life. So I've been on a lot of diets, and I didn't have a lot of optimism that it would work, because the way I used to do it was I would go on a diet, I would lose the weight, and then I would be like, okay, cool, the weight's gone. I can just eat whatever I want now. And then I'd put all the weight back on. And so I didn't have a lot of faith that us trying to lose weight would do much. But I figured, you know what? I love my wife. I'm going to do this with her to support her. But in the back of my head, I was like, I'm going to kind of half-ass this, right? Well, I started losing weight, started dropping weight off, actually. And the reason is I used to operate under the idea that everybody needed 2,000 calories, because you always hear that, based on a 2,000 calorie diet, So I was going off of that, and I was eating between 800 and 1,200 calories a day. On top of that, I was rucking, weighted backpack for sometimes hours. I would also be pushing my client in a wheelchair. I ended up finding out later when I got a Fitbit, and I know they're not the most accurate thing, but I think mine's fairly accurate because I've had 3 of them, and all of them tell me the same thing on how many calories I burn per day. One thing you need to understand about me is I get up very early, and then I have, like I said, I'm neurodivergent, and one of my stims is I pace all day long. I'm pacing and walking, so I'm getting steps all fucking day, and then I was doing cardio on top of that. Turns out I burn anywhere between 4,000 and 5,000 calories a day. I've never had it go under 3,800 on my where it tracks how many calories. So I was eating 800 to 1,200 calories and burning, let's just say 4,000, 4,500. And I lost 100 pounds in 7 months. And that is not healthy. I do not recommend anybody do that, because what happens is, and I found this out the hard way, you lose any muscle you might have had underneath that fat, because we all got some, and I was just skinny at that point. That's when I decided, you know what, I've hit my weight loss goal. I'd like to try to build some muscle. And so that's when my whole goal changed, and I started eating in a surplus and lifting. And that led to where we're at today. I started seeing results with that, and I became absolutely hooked. It was over for me. I was like, I want to see how far I can take this. So I just thought I would bring that up, because I am going to be making my transformation video here soon with pictures, and I figure right now is a good time because I've checked the analytics, and I've been told by multiple people that my stuff is getting recommended on the homepage. And I've been getting I know this is not a lot and I don't have a lot of subs, but I've been getting 10 to 15 subs a day. I figure I better go ahead and make a good video that will draw in a bunch of people, like a transformation video. So that's going to be coming sooner than I originally anticipated. It may not be as detailed, but I just want to get it out there. But yeah, for those of you who don't know, I used to be fat, and that's where a lot of my self-esteem stuff and body dysmorphia stems from. Another thing, and I'm not proud of this, I've always had body dysmorphia. When I was in high school, I had an eating disorder, okay? And I got very, very, very skinny. And that's part of why I later got so fat when I got better with that. The only way I could was to just not think about my body or care about it at all. And that's why things went south. So I've always had body dysmorphia. And I don't mean to keep repeating myself, but there are new people watching that didn't see this in the old videos. The way my body dysmorphia used to be was I always thought I was way bigger than I was. And, I was not really fat. And I was starving myself. I had what's, I believe, referred to as EDNOS, eating disorder not otherwise specified, because it was a combination of anorexia and bulimia. And that's embarrassing to admit, but that's the case. Like I said, I'm not going to ever try to hide things. And I feel like honesty is the best policy. So as embarrassing as that is for a man to be like, I used to have an eating disorder, it is what it is. So that's kind of a little bit of backstory for me, for the new people. And if you are new, please stay tuned. I will be doing that transformation video soon. But listen, I appreciate every one of you guys watching my stuff. And you know, you may see when I reply to comments, I always say, hey man, thank you for watching and commenting. Because it does. It means a lot that anybody gives a shit what I have to say. It's I didn't expect anybody to watch this. You know, I just kind of wanted to do it for fun and see what happened. And you know, where I started out like getting just friends subbing, and then I was excited when I hit 50 subs, and then I was excited when I hit 100, and I figured, hey, maybe in a year I'll hit 200, and then I out of nowhere got 198 subs like overnight. And then I keep getting, you know, 10, 20, 30, 40 subs. They just keep coming in. And I think a lot of it's from shorts. Analytics say it's from shorts, but the main source is YouTube recommending it on the homepage. It's 96 something percent. So I just thought that was, you know, that all that stuff is interesting to me. I don't really know much about YouTube. I watch it all the time, but I've never really created content. But I don't know. Stay tuned, guys. I'm gonna make that video soon. I'll catch you guys later. Boy.